Hey guys, it's me, Quentin. I'm back with a new video, and today we're talking about being black and trans in terms of my childhood and what that meant for me, basically. So I grew up in Brooklyn. I haven't left Brooklyn. I've lived there my entire life. I've went to school there, and I've went to high school there, etc. All that. I made friends here, all that. I would say that my childhood was unique-ish, sort of, kind of. I don't know. I feel like my childhood was unique in the sense that I grew up lonely, even though I was surrounded by a bunch of people. But I feel like that might be common for a lot of people, especially in their childhood. I had a lot of cousins, which was cool, and like we hung out, and that was great. But I didn't really feel like I had a community connected to me all the time, especially the more I realized that I was different from other kids, and different as in, like, I seemed more mature for my age, and I happened to want more older companionship and all that. And I feel like part of that was just having older cousins, rather cousins my age, around me. So I was pretty much used to that. For the most part, when I was in elementary school, the kids around me were pretty well. Most of the time they're immature, and I didn't really like doing what they did. I didn't really like gossiping. I didn't like hanging out and causing trouble. I wasn't into that kind of stuff. In relation to my identity, I didn't realize I was trans until the end of my 5th grade. Like, I didn't come to terms with that until end of 5th grade, because throughout my elementary school, I was like, okay, I'm just a tomboy that just has a desire to look like a boy. I don't want to be a boy. And that was awkward for a lot of times, because I came to school one day and like the boys tied, because we had like these uniforms, and the boys wore like these clip-on ties and the girls wore these bow ties. So I came in with one of the ties, and like I got in trouble for it. So that was really awkward, and I didn't understand why. And we had to assign lines to by gender, but I was always on the boys' line to make it even. So at that point I was like, cool, I can like at least, you know, be in the scapegoat of gender and identity, even if I know I'm not gonna be a boy as I get older, and I'll grow out of it. Surprise, I did not grow out of it. So as that went along, that was pretty interesting. And then by the time I hit 5th grade, I already hit puberty, and I was very miserable, because I was like, I hate this. And my chest started to grow, and all my guy friends were really awkward about it, because they started puberty too, and they were like, ooh, girls are cute, and you're a girl, and you're cute. And I'm like, homeboy, no. So that was not fun at all. It was really awkward, because it was like, that's like if you know you're gay and your straight friends trying to hit on you, and it's like you're barking up the wrong tree there, and they were barking up the wrong tree. So that was really awkward a lot of times. So I started wearing more baggy clothes, and I started trying to slouch a lot to hide my chest, which led to back problems and me just having a bad posture for most of my life. So that sucked. And then by the time I hit middle school, that's when I knew for sure I was trans, because we had gender assigned lines again with the boys, and they didn't understand why, and I got in trouble for that, and I continued to get in trouble for that despite what anyone told me, because I didn't give a fuck. And that really sucked, because I was so used to being on the boys line in elementary school that I thought that it wouldn't make a difference in middle school. It did, sadly. So by the time I got to middle school, I was also outcasted, because apparently all my interests were not black enough, or they were white, such as like writing or reading manga or being into anime or whatever, or just having intelligence as the white trait to my peers, and they didn't get it and I didn't get it, which sucked. And they would question if I was like mixed, or if my mom was white, if my dad was white, and I was like, no dude, they're not. And if they were, like, I'm still black, like, why does that matter? I didn't grow up with many white people, and I didn't interact with many white people until I was in high school. So yeah, but that's for another time. So I basically was outcasted in middle school for my gender identity and for not being black enough, and it really sucked, because it was like, thinking back, it was such an idiotic thing to think, especially for kids, because it's like you don't get to depict who's black enough. Or I'm back. So anyway, basically I got bullied for not being black enough, but also being trans, and that sucked because it was middle school. Middle school was trash, and I'd rather not think about it, honestly. So yeah, I really just kind of wish that people weren't as shitty then, and even now I just wish people weren't shitty. But that basically was my experience, and yeah, like I grew up, you know, at one point thinking that, you know, I was white. I didn't know what race was when I was very young as a kid, like 4 or 5, and then I learned about it in elementary, obviously, and I realized I'm not white. So there, and like it's just weird thinking back to it because I get bullied to the point of death threats, and that was trash. And my family didn't know about that until I had to tell them, mostly my mom, and she was very upset about that. So if you're watching this and you're a middle schooler, don't be fucking rude. Yeah, it was just a weird experience for me because I didn't really know what to do about it. I didn't really have any mentors to turn to. I didn't have any friends to turn to, and it sucked. So that. But that was basically most of my childhood growing up as a black trans person. And high school is moving more interesting because it gets worse and then it gets better. So yeah, until next time, guys.